Kentucky and Cape Town, yeah. With Ryan. Fantastic. Well, Ryan's going to be starting us off with the Boulevardier. Can you guys all hear me okay? Okay, so fantastic. So what we're going to be doing today is obviously it's the 4th of July. We're going to be celebrating with a little bit of bourbon spirits, which I think is a fantastic idea. The idea here is I thought, well, you know, being the whole dinner focus vibe, people having a lot of dinner parties now and not being able to go out so much, I thought it'd be a good idea to give you guys a bit of focus on some dinner-style cocktails. So what I mean by that would be like a pre-dinner cocktail, something you could pair during the actual dinner, and then something you could have with a dessert. So what we're going to be looking at making today are 4 different cocktails. The first one's going to be a Boulevardier, which is sort of like a twist on a Negroni. Quite a bitter-style cocktail, but again, gets your digestive system going quite nicely, so it's a great starter cocktail. We're going to be doing a penicillin, classic penicillin, as well as a Lynchburg lemonade and a mint julep as well. So yeah, we'll tell you guys as we go through it as to how you can use these drinks and what you can pair them up with in that sense. So Ryan, if you're there, do you want to start us off with the Boulevardier? Yeah. Fantastic. Perfect. The Jack. Okay. bring Spitfire ice? Ah, and then I thought, well, I'm not making this drink, so I didn't bring it. Damn it. Shit, I'm so far ahead of him. Yeah, thank you so. Has everyone caught up? Has everyone made their drink? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this is very exciting. I'm definitely going to keep that on the side for sure. All right, so the Negroni is something that you want to offer as a starter style cocktail. It's fantastic. You don't have to serve it on the rocks as well. It can be served straight up as well. And if you want to add a bit more of an orange note to it, you can use a nice fresh zest as well and squeeze the oils out over. One of our favorite drinks for sure. All right, so moving on to another fantastic drink, which I like to call, which is the penicillin. This drink was actually invented by Sam Ross from Milk and Honey in New York, and it's on its about 15th year anniversary, I think now. So about 15 years old. This is a shaken and strain drink. So if you have a Tupperware or if you have your shaker or etc., grab your Tupperware, grab your mixing glass, and we're going to add these ingredients inside there now. Now, we did send out a little ingredients list for you guys to do and a prep list. You should have hopefully prepped some ginger juice, which is very, very simple. The ginger juice is just pretty much fresh ginger with some water inside your blender. Blitz that up so it's nice and fine, and then pretty much just fine strain the pulp through either a quinoa cloth or a fine strainer will do as well. And that'll give you some nice fresh ginger juice. And then we're also going to be using some lovely honey syrup, which is very, very simple. It's a 2-to-1 or sometimes 1-to-1 ratio, depending on how sweet you like the syrup. So pretty much 2 parts honey to 1 part water in that sense. And you want to use hot water because it'll mix and dilute the honey and make it easier to pour a lot quicker in that sense. All right, so we've got that, and then obviously some fresh lemon juice and our lovely bourbon, which I'm going to be using the new Jack Daniel's Rye. I'm very excited about that. So first off, let's start off with the rye, and we're going to go with a nice 50 ml measure, so a double shot inside our tin. And then we're going to go with 25 ml of freshly squeezed lemon juice. So some of you are going to have to probably squeeze some lemon juice now. If you have a citrus press, that's fantastic as well. A little tip when you're using your citrus is obviously just give them a nice roll before you use them, and that'll cause them to get quite soft, and you can juice all the citrus juice out of there a lot easier as well. All right, so onto our lemon juice. We want to get 25 ml of lemon juice, and that's going to be our sour ingredient in the cocktail. You're always looking for something sour. You're going to need it to be balanced out with something sweet, and obviously we've put in something that's quite strong, being the spirit, so we're going to need something weak to balance that out. There's always got to be a balance in your cocktails, and that's one of the most important things when it comes to making your drinks. All right, so we've got our sour in there, and to balance that out, we're going to use our honey syrup. I'm going to use about 20 ml honey syrup in here. Yeah, sure. I am in a deep down cellar, as you can see. I have some lovely barrels aging behind me. Kentucky, Louisville, if that's a bit helps you. Do you know where that is? Does it? Yeah. No, I'm in the cellar here. It's quite dark. It's quite smoky. We've hooked up a lot of lights so you can obviously see what we're doing here. But yeah, no, it's fantastic here. All right, so we've got our lemon juice, our honey syrup, sweet and sour, and now we're going to add some ginger to that. And this drink you can pretty much pair up with anything that's kind of got like an Asian spice to it. So sushi that's kind of served with ginger as well. This will be a great drink to serve with a sushi meal, for example, or anything like a stir-fry style drink as well. This is just cupped over. I've used 20 ml. So just 20 ml. And what's happened is this ginger bit is like, as you can see, that bottom bit there is just solidified. So I'm just shaking that up. Make sure you give it a good shake if your ginger syrup's been sitting in the fridge. And we're going with, ginger juice. 10 ml of ginger juice inside. Okay. All right, so we've got everything in there, sweet, sour, and strong. And now we're going to use our weakening ingredient, which is our ice. I'm going to fill that baby up with some ice. And this drink is going to be served in either a martini style, or if you have a lovely champagne group, that's going to work as well. Good idea is to just slam some ice in there, just like this, and have it chilled and ready, because now you're going to keep your drink colder for a lot longer as well. Remember, it's not served with ice, so we want to keep it as cold as possible for as long as possible. Alrighty, so once you've iced up your shaker or your Tupperware and you've got all of your goodies in there, seal your Tupperware, give it a good shake. Seal your shaker, give that a nice good shake. About 15 seconds should do it. Alrighty, and then we're going to just pop that off. Do a bit of a quality test. Alrighty. Now, remember, we're not serving this with ice, so this ice that's just used to chill the glass goes back in your ice well. And then we're going to go... Alrighty, good question. So yeah, as you saw, I did take a little drop and put it on the back of my hand and just taste it. Again, I'm not too sure how sweet or sour the lemons are. Obviously, depending on how ripe your fruit are, their flavors could change, their sweetness could change. So I'm just checking that, again, remember the importance of the cocktail being balanced. I'm just checking that I haven't put too much lemon juice or too much syrup, and making sure that all the flavors that are in the drink come through evenly in that sense, so that there's not one flavor that overpowers another. It's all, you're getting all the flavors. It's kind of pointless us putting 7 ingredients in a cocktail and you only taste 2 of those ingredients. You know what I mean? So that's the idea behind the little quality taste test, making sure that I get it consistent all the time. That's it. No problem. Prepared. Yeah. Alrighty, so now you're going to grab your Hawthorne strainer, or if you have the lid of a Tupperware or the lid of your protein shaker, or whatever it is you're pouring from, and you're going to grab a fine strainer. Hopefully you have one of these as well, the tea strainer. Okay, and we're going to now what we call double strain. So we're going through 1, 2 different strainers. And we're going to double strain that into our glass. And the reason for that is I don't want little bits of ice going into the drink and causing that to dilute over time. As you can see over there in the glass, you'll see all the bits of ice, which I don't want going into my drink. So just continuously strain that out. Little tip as well, to get it through the strainer quicker, just tap the side of it, and that'll get all your liquids out of there. Alrighty. I don't want to waste any of this. Oh yeah. Alright, so we are good there. That's going to go in your sink. Give it a good clean. And now for a garnish. So ideally when you're garnishing your cocktails, you want to garnish with an ingredient that's already been used in the drink. So for example, we've used honey and ginger and some lemon in this drink. So using any one of those to garnish the drink should be fine. I'm going to show you guys a cool little trick. It's called a citrus rose. And you're going to take a potato peeler or a zester like this and just zest a nice little long piece of lemon zest, or any kind of citrus zest if you like. Obviously we used lemon here, so we're going to be going with lemon. Alrighty, and as you'll see, I can pull that off there. And what you want to do with this now is you're just going to roll this up. Roll this up, keep rolling it. As you can see, I'll bring it a bit closer. We're just going to keep rolling that zest, till it pretty much comes and forms what we call a rosebud, as you can see. Looks like a bit of a rose. So now we have a citrus rose as a garnish, which is fantastic. And just before I do that, take the little piece off. All right, now to keep this together, you're going to want to pin it with something. So either a little cocktail stick or a toothpick will work quite well. I'm going to go with a nice little prism stick because that looks fancy. And we're just going to push that through there. Oops, that one's actually broke. That's weird. Push this straight through the actual flour, and that's just going to pin it together so that we could place it in our drink. Alrighty. And into the center, it'll go. And there we'll have a citrus rose sitting in the middle. And there we have a lovely penicillin. As a little trick as well, take a piece of the lemon zest and just squeeze those oils out. I'm sure I don't know if you can see those oils. Okay, and just rub that along the base of your glass and along the stem. And what happens then is once somebody's actually taken the drink and had a sip or two and they've actually finished the drink, that scent of lemon sticks on their fingers and it kind of wants them wanting some more. Yeah, keeps the drink going for longer. Cool, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is great. How are you guys all doing out there? Anyone got any questions on the penicillin? Sure. Yes. Pre-prep, yeah. For me, what is very, very important is the setup of my workstation in that sense. So you could pretty much blindfold me right now, and I'll be able to tell you that my glasses are over there, my ice is over there, my Jack Daniels is over here, my Shakertons are over here, you know what I mean. Knowing where everything is in your bar is very important. That second or two that you spend time, where is the bar spoon or where is the shaker for this, and you're doing that 100 times a night, you're wasting a lot of time in that sense. So definitely the preparation being done, and doing things like if you have any cocktails that require fresh lemon juice or lime juice, as opposed to squeezing them fresh with a juicer, just get somebody to sit for an hour or two and prep and squeeze fresh lime juice and lemon juice, you know. I think the more you prepare your ingredients ahead of time, the faster your service is going to be, for sure. They generally say for every single minute that you spend preparing, you'll save about 20 minutes on average during service in that sense. And it's such a pleasure when you have everything at your fingertips. You're not hesitant on where to grab everything. It makes you look way more professional and in control of what you're doing as well. So yeah, when it comes to speed and a really busy bar, it's about, having everything organized and everything ready at my fingertips. And then also maybe explaining to customers as well. Also, if you're looking busy behind the bar, people aren't going to really bother you in that sense because they can see you busy. But maybe, explaining to someone and acknowledging your guest to say, look, I'll be with you in 2 minutes, or I'll be with you in 3 minutes. I'm just finishing this drink as well. That help alleviates the tension that you sometimes get from some guests when they're waiting for a drink at your bar. Does that answer your question, I hope? Fantastic. No, you're welcome. Is there any other questions? Are you guys all caught up with the penicillin? Again, being a great drink for like sushi or anything with like complements with ginger. Anything that you're cooking with ginger, this will obviously complement the flavors in there as well. I'm going to steal a sip. Alrighty, so the next drink we're going to get onto, if you guys are ready, is what we call a Lynchburg lemonade. And basically, it is from the hometown. It's named after Lynchburg, which is the hometown of where the Jack Daniel's distillery is. Jack Daniel's being a proud spirit I'm using today. So, for our Lynchburg lemonade, we are going to pretty much build this drink, which is quite straightforward. So you're going to take a tall glass, a Collins glass of some sort. I think I'm going to go with this one. You could use a taller one. Obviously, just remember you might have to add more of the lemonade in there to top it up. And now, what we want to grab is, I don't know if you guys have got some triple sec, which is an orange-based liqueur. Okay, so we've got some of that going in there. We've got some fresh lemon juice going in there. We've got some Jack Daniel's rye going in there, because that previous drink tasted really good with the rye, so I'm going to stick with that. And we have some lemonade. Here we go. So those are the ingredients that you should have ready for this next drink. Some sugar syrup. Sugar syrup's perfectly fine. Oh, sorry, triple sec, not sugar syrup. That one's a sugar syrup. Triple sec, some lemon juice, lemonade, and Jack Daniel's, yeah? You can shake this drink as well. I think it's absolutely fine. Just don't like the over-dilution that you might get when you possibly shake it and then topping up with a soft drink. You might lose a bit of the effervescence from the soft drink. So building it for me is pretty straightforward. Alrighty, so ice up your Collins glass, nice and tall. Nice and to the top. And then what we're going to do is drop in 1.5 shots of Jack Daniel's rye, or any whiskey that you're pretty much using. Obviously, being a Lynchburg lemonade, you want to be using the original. So we've got 1.5 going inside there. 25 mils of your fresh lemon juice. Make sure that when you guys are measuring that you're getting the correct 25, or you're not hitting too short or too much lemon juice in that sense. When you're using ingredients that are quite strong, like lemon juice being obviously very sour, or sugar syrup being very, very sweet, you want to use those ingredients sparingly in that sense. So you don't want to overdo it. Again, monitoring the balance of your cocktail. Alrighty, and then triple sec, we're going with 12.5, which is half a shot. A little bit extra there. Alrighty. That is our triple sec. And then take a bar spoon or your regular teaspoon. Just give that a little mix. I'm going to top it up with a bit more ice. Oops. And there it is. And then that gets lightly topped with some lemonade. And there we have the Lynchburg. I'm going to give that just a little swizzle just so that I can make sure the sweetness of the lemonade gets through the drink as well. And what do you think we should garnish this with? Does anyone have any suggestions for me? Don't all shout out at once. What was that? Mint leaves? Yeah, but do we have any mint in this drink? There we go, yeah. So again, remember, you want to use something that's going to complement the flavors of the drink, or either that's already part of the ingredients. So we did use an orange liqueur, yeah, which was triple sec. We also used some fresh lemon juice as well, and lemonade. So I think our options here are pretty much lemon or orange. I'm going to go with a nice orange zest. All right? And what you want to do when you're zesting your citrus is hold it over the top of your drink. Because as you see, as I zest, those oils are already spraying all over the top, which is going to add a perfect aroma for my drink. And then another little tip, just to neaten that up, just take a knife and just neaten up the edges so that it looks nice and clean. And you'll see you have a nice, neater piece like that. You can spritz those oils over the top of the glass. Give that a little twist up. And now you have a perfect orange zest twist. We can slide into our glass. And there we have lovely Lynchburg lemonade. Hope you guys are going to enjoy that. That on a hot day is absolutely fantastic. And then obviously being with the citrus, the orange and lemon, if you pair this with like a pasta, like a creamy pasta or like a grilled fish, it'll go down absolutely amazing. The lemon obviously complementing that and cutting through the grease of the pasta as well, or the oils of the pasta, so it'll actually be like a bit of a palate cleanser, which is quite cool. So yeah, fantastically refreshing drink. Definitely one of my top 5, maybe. Yeah, it's a top 5. Hope you guys enjoy. Alrighty, so how are you guys with your Lynchburg lemonades? Do we have any questions for that one? Everybody happy? I hope everyone's got a drink in their hand at least. All right, so those 2 drinks are pretty much the ones that you could pair up with the meal. We've done a starter, which is the Boulevardia, which is obviously what you're going to prepare before the meal. And now we're going to look at doing a mint julep, which is something we could recommend towards after your meal in that sense. It's got a slightly sweeter palate that we're going to go to. And I'm going to hand over to Ryan Duvenage, back all the way in Durbs. Ryan, are you ready for us? You're welcome. These are melting. Drink it. He's going to bring it to you. He's not playing. I'm serious. Just watch. Bro, I'm so fucking nervous with all this electric equipment. You've earned it today, bro. It's Saturday. You're grafting. I would give them that one, but I sipped on that one, and you know the whole COVID thing now. No, and I'm driving. It's not bad, that. Fucking hell, it's only like 20 to 5. It's only 20 to 5, and we're on our last drink. Yeah. And I've been scrolling through some of the participants. They seem to be catching on fine. I think an hour and a half would have been too long. I think 45 minutes to an hour tops is good. And it was still, yeah, as long as it doesn't seem like we're running through it, and it doesn't seem like we're running through it, which is good. It's just that's what everyone said last time. Me too. so stupid. I brought all the ingredients for the drinks that he's making as well. Why? You're not even making those drinks. Fucking idiot. That's how I prepared I come. Because I thought, what happens if Ryan doesn't rock up? And then I said 4 cocktails and I only brought ingredients for 2. So I was like, nah, fuck that, I'm bringing all of them. That's what I'm trying to think of now, dude. Fuck. Do you guys have a sink? Oh, please can I rinse this in that? I'm just thinking I might have to squeeze another. Oh, I'll go rinse it, dude. No worries. Thanks, man. Oh, dude, that cover my face thing. Oh. Fuck, eh? Some people are like, nah, don't worry. Some people are like, why the fuck are you not wearing a mask? I know 100% what you mean, dude. I just had a class now, a coffee class last week, where all the students are like, nah, fuck the masks and stuff. And I'm like, guys, I need to take photos for the public, and they're not going to be happy when I don't have masks on my class. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it. That is perfect. Thank you so much. I'm just worried I might have to try and squeeze out another drink for time purposes. Fuck. I'll go this way. Yes. Clyde obviously had no idea about my background. Clyde had no idea about my background. He must have, because he phoned us before this. No, he knew where I was. What? He was just playing along with us, yeah.
You did convincingly, though. You did fairly convincing.
Yeah.
And you played along nicely as well.
I'm in Louisville. I almost said Lynchburg because of fucking Daniel. Cool it.
Teacher Lee. Teacher Ryan.
Bash it.
I hate it when you have to crack ice and then sticks and tears off something. I hate that.
It's the worst. This is the worst. Oh, man.
Speak again. We are mute.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just watching all these.
Yeah, but we've sent them recipes and we've told them if you don't have a shaker, get a Tupperware, and we've given them, if you don't have a jigger, get a cake measure. So we've given them all alternatives as to what they can use. And then, yeah, send them an ingredients list, and I'll tell them to make like a honey syrup, and I'll send them a link to a video to make honey syrup so that they have those prepped and ready, and then, yeah, we'll give them a shout on the day. Well, they are. Yeah. So what we used to have is it would just be us talking, and we'd mute the rest of them. But then they couldn't really engage, and that's not fun in that sense. You want to be able to engage, and it's the idea of meeting other like-minded people that have the same interests in that sense, you know. So that's why we kept this open, you know, so that people can chat to us and interrupt us. You know, it's as much as, you know, we're always like, oh, it's got to be formal and there's not enough lighting. Fuck it, just have fun, relax. They're not going to stress about the lighting in that sense, you know what I mean? So it's a great thing to just be relaxed, be ourselves, you know, next time we're always going to better it type of thing. So I think it's very cool, and it's worked quite well. We had a few of the brands approach us, you know, that are keen to do stuff like this. With the Unbarred show that I'm doing, I'm going to be doing a thing with the Bacardi ambassadors up there and the Bacardi ambassadors down here. And I'm like, we're going to link up, we're going to do an international masterclass with Bacardi and do something like that, yeah, which I think is quite cool. He said over 20 people had booked, yeah, 20 odd people. I was really hoping for a lot more. Last time I had like 77, which was a nice amount.
That's what you're charging tickets here.
No. I mean, I can go onto YouTube and watch this if they want, you know. Just type in mint julep and you got 150 different mint juleps. But I want to look at making it more exclusive with like the brand ambassadors from Bacardi and that's going to be something small fee, $100, $150 type of thing, where they'll learn some very cool stuff, you know. Readily available out there.
Cat decided to play with him. Jumped onto the table.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Yeah, I wanted to actually try this with some nutmeg. Fuck, I'm supposed to be on screen now. Making new drinks is more important to me. That's a winner, that nutmeg. Oh, the finish is beautiful.
Killing me.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck is he shaping? What is he shaping? The ice.
Yeah, the crushed ice.
Yeah. I hope everyone's made one. Lovely. As a little tip, guys, what I've learned with making some nice mint garnishes is if you take a little a duster like this, like an icing sugar duster, and put some icing sugar in there, and just dust that over your mint leaves, you'll see it gives your mint leaves a nice finish, and it kind of gives it like this frosted look, which gives it a nice little finish. And that's a cool little tip that you can use to add to your garnishing when you're garnishing any mint drinks. Pretty cool. Hope you guys are enjoying those juleps out there. Has anyone got any questions for the entire show or on any of the drinks? Or if there's anything in particular you'd like to ask myself or Ryan, we are available. Yes, obviously the profile of the whiskey will be different. Depending on what whiskey you prefer, you're always welcome to use that, you know. Some drinks, well, again, it's a matter of opinion, you know. Some people might prefer a penicillin with a bit of a smokier finish, for example. So then you'd look to using a more of a peatier Scotch whiskey. It doesn't really matter as to what whiskey you're using. That comes down to your personal preference, you know. So for me today, I was fortunate enough to get some of this rye, and I was really excited to use it and just give it a try in some of our cocktails that we made today. But I mean, the profile will change a little bit. I think you'd still get all the goodness and the just out of the cocktail at the end of it, though. Correct. Yeah. So again, you would. That's why you would do that taste test. You know, if you're using a different whiskey or a different style of fruit, that would definitely help. Correct. Awesome. Has anyone got any other questions? Sounding so... Oh, fantastic.
Oh, yes, thank you. I have a question. The Lachbeck, is it different from the whiskey sour?
It is, yes. The Lynchburg lemonade? Yes, it is quite different from the whiskey sours. It plays on a similar profile, obviously being a whiskey and lemon. Whiskey and lemon is a great combination together. Whiskey and lemon and vanilla actually goes very well together. But yeah, the combination of whiskey and lemon is in there. However, with your whiskey sours, we have a slightly different ingredient in there, which is Angostura bitters, as well as an emulsifier, which will either be like egg white or a cellulose or aquafaba, which is a chickpea brine water. So similar style, I would say, in the sense that it's a citrus, whiskey citrus cocktail, but the flavors are definitely different. Your Lynchburg lemonade is going to be a little bit lighter in style and a bit sweeter, whereas your sours, obviously being a sour, would be more on the sour side in that sense, and more complex due to the bitters that is in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think like lemonade-wise, if you could make your own lemonade, you're gonna be able to make that drink even more specific to your liking in that sense. And homemade lemonade, definitely. Just bear in mind that you would be adding a little bit of more lemon juice and a little bit of more sugar syrup to the drink. So you may have to adjust those variations. You might want to put in, I think we did 1.5 bourbon. You might want to put in a double shot of bourbon, for example, just to kick it up, because we are adding more lemon and sugar to it. So to keep the balance of that spirit in there, you might want to add that up. But yeah, definitely using a fresh lemonade, homemade lemonade, and maybe using an effervescent, like a soda in there as well. Not a bad idea at all. I actually saw something quite interesting today, which was with the mint julep. And typical, there's a few different ways of making it, but the ingredients pretty much stay the same. It's your bourbon, sugar, and mint in that sense. And for me personally, there's a component missing in there. There's a balancing component missing in there, which is your bitter or sour aspect. I think personally for me the drink is quite sweet, so that's why we suggested it as a dessert-style cocktail. But maybe adding a dash or two of bitters. I've seen that done to a mint julep. I haven't tried it. I'm very, very keen to try it because I think that will bring down the sweet aspect, and I'll actually be able to enjoy that drink way more in that sense. So yeah, I could definitely probably recommend with the mint julep and even the Lynchburg lemonade. It could be more of a twist on like a rock shandy with a bit of lemon in that sense, if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, I think if you want something to add, if you want to add a bit more complexity, using it in a Lynchburg lemonade and for balancing a mint julep is probably a good idea. Yeah, and bitters is like salt when it comes to bartenders. You know, we add it to add a lot of depth to the cocktail and a lot of complexity. So you're not just tasting lemon and sugar, you're tasting a few other aspects that you just can't really pinpoint your finger on. So it kind of keeps you playing this guessing game with your cocktail, which is quite fun in that sense as well. No worries. Anyone else got some questions? We obviously premeditated the time a bit more, so we are finishing a bit earlier. It was basically just to make sure that everyone could catch up and make sure that everyone was completing their cocktails in time. But from the looks of things and sounds of things, it seems like everyone's caught up, so that's pretty good. And we didn't rush through it this time, which I think is quite cool. This is true. This is true. Alrighty. So is everyone happy with that? Has everyone completed their cocktails? Fantastic. Clyde, are you still there with us?
I'm here, buddy.
Fantastic. So we thank everyone for coming and thank everyone for the time today. It was very fun doing this. Thank you to the guys from RGBC for sending me some lovely Jack Daniel's rye as well. I had great fun. I think we'll definitely do this again in the future. So keep posted. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Blair. Thanks so much, Ryan. Thanks for everybody for joining, and hope to see you guys soon. We should have another one happening next month. Thanks so much to everyone. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Good time.
Enjoy. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.